If you're already making 5k, 10k per month as a Muslim, Habibi, I promise you now, working more is not going to solve your problem. Working more is not going to help you scale. I learned this the hard way. I, I'm so ashamed to say this. I sacrificed, well, I didn't sacrifice, like I didn't stop praying, but I would pray basically late. I wouldn't pray with full khushu'. I would be thinking about how I need to do this work, how I need to do this specific project, how I'm going to do this, how I'm going to do that. The entire time I was praying, I just wasn't focused on the prayer. When I was reading Quran, I was trying to read it as quickly as possible. I remember one Friday, I was reading Surah Al-Kahf and I read it in like 10, 15 minutes. And that's insane because it usually takes me 20 minutes. It takes me 25 when I try and properly do the tajweed. It takes me half an hour when I properly reflect on the words. The point is that I was sabotaging myself. And if you're listening to like Hormozy's advice, Charlie Morgan's advice, like if you're listening to these kuffar, not to attack them in that way, but just saying like, if you're listening to them and all they're telling you is to work more, they're not telling you the root problem. You see, everything comes from Allah, ya akhi. It doesn't matter how hard you work. I know you're resonating with this. It doesn't matter how hard you work. Everything comes from Allah. And so if you're on one end sacrificing your relationship to build something that Allah is going to give you anyway, you're working for the wrong thing. You're doing the wrong activity. Because it's Allah who's going to help you sign clients, because it's Allah who's going to help you make more money, what you should be pursuing is barakah. What you should be pursuing is a new energy, an energy of gratitude, for example. I worked so hard during that period of my life. I still remember it to this day. I felt horrendous. Like every day I felt incredibly stressful. Even when I wear my Whoop band, my heart rate variability, which shows how well your body is accustomed to stress, how well you can handle stress, how well you're recovering, it was so low. Generally, it was like, my heart rate variability was like 35, which if you look it up, by the way, that's disgustingly low. That's really, really bad. And I remember thinking to myself, at this stage, I was like, but I have to push. Like, what's the answer? I have to push more. And I remember working for one day, I think it was 16 hours. Generally, I slept, I woke up. I say 16 hours, obviously I prayed in between, but I just worked the entire flipping day. And I thought to myself when going to bed, I was like, I can't continue like this. Like, this just can't be what life is. This business, I didn't start this business to be working all day long. I started this business at the start to take care of my mum. I've been able to do that, alhamdulillah. I'm now doing it so I can help more people, so I can make more money, so I can live a life of greater abundance. But I've lost sight of what truly mattered. You see, when you pursue business and you pursue it from a place of fear, a place of lack, a place of pressure, all you're going to get is that. But when you pursue it like Allah tells us in the Quran, right? Ashkuruni, be grateful for me and I will increase you. When you are grateful for what you have, the energy you go into the business is different. The way you work is different. The way you pursue your goals is different because you're like, alhamdulillah for what I've got. And being thankful for something, it doesn't mean you don't want more of it. It doesn't mean you can't have more of it. Like, the world is naturally abundant. Look at the trees around you. Look at the leaves. Like, there's hundreds of thousands of leaves per tree. So why is it that you, as a being, as a human, as a Abdullah, a servant of Allah, are living in lack, are living with pressure, are struggling to make more money? It's not because you're not working hard enough. It's because you haven't figured out how to increase your barakah. And so I'm going to tell you the three things now. I was going to say guess them, but obviously you're not going to know. You can't read my mind. The three things I did was, number one, I decreased how much I worked. And this made me so anxious because I was like, but if I work less, I'll make less. I was like, do you know what? I cannot attach myself to this dunya. This is a test from Allah. I will decrease the amount of time I work. The second thing was I spent the mornings in ibadah. I followed Hormozy's advice. I'd wake up early and I'd just work. No more. The early mornings after Fajr, I'd spend time in doing dhikr. I'd spend time reading Quran. I had a goal, for example, of reading Surah Al-Baqarah one day, and I read Surah Al-Baqarah the entire morning, alhamdulillah. Then, step number 3, I meditated. And I'd meditate and I would visualize the business that I really wanted. I'd visualize my goals and achieving it not through pushing, not through pursuing, but through peace, through blessings. And by doing that, and this is why I tell you this advice, and I can't be incredibly tactical sometimes, is that, well, this is tactical to be fair, but not incredibly, is that your mind will open up to ideas. Like, your subconscious mind, right? If you take away the pressure, if you take away the stress, if you take away all this energy that you're pushing towards to make more money, it's going to give you the answers that you're looking for. And the answers I was looking for was, how do I grow a business that is sustainable and scalable? And one of the answers I got was systemize. Just make the processes repeatable. Make them so that somebody else can handle them. I used to be a control freak. I wanted to do everything in the business. And I was like, systemize. And so I hired my first employee. That gained me back like 3 hours a week. And then I did the next thing, and then I did the next thing, and then I did the next thing. The way I did my sales calls, the way I did my YouTube videos, everything changed because I would prioritize Allah. Allah guided me to what unlocked my blessings. And I remember being stuck at 5K per month for so long. Alhamdulillah, I scaled to 10K. Alhamdulillah, when I scaled to 10K, I was back to working with stress. I was like, no, I'm going to lose the 10K. What if I make less than 10K? And then I let go again. I made 20K, 25K, 30K, 50K per month, alhamdulillah. And all of that came from detaching. You see, you don't have to change business model. You don't have to work harder, especially. You don't have to follow anybody's advice other than understanding that it's Allah who's going to give you what you're after. And so prioritize Him, okay? Just prioritize Him. He'll give you everything that you're after. I promise you that. Jazakallah khair for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. Inshallah, I'll speak to you soon. And yeah, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.